Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 51. And what you're seeing right here in the background is actually Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection for the Nintendo Switch. So this came out a while back last year, but the nice thing about Diablo 3 is that every few months it has this called so-called seasons, where every season you get limited or some sort of assorted rewards and armor sets, for example, to different classes specific for that season. So fans of Diablo 3, they actually it urges them to go back to the game even if they've playing for it for so long, because every new season there are some new goodies that you can obtain. Okay, but yeah, when I first got this, I actually got into it the previous season, season 16. I started with a necromancer, and then I got like the armor set for the necromancer during that season. I believe it's the Tralgul set or something like that. And then currently I'm playing as a barbarian, and right now I'm doing the story mode. So basically, if you've never heard of Diablo is basically an action hack and slash dungeon crawler. And then it's a loot game. You go in a randomized dungeon, and then you hack some demons, and then you pick up the loot. It's really very cool. It's not that hard. It's really easy, because you can adjust the difficulty on the fly. So for example, if you can adjust a higher level of difficulty, so you can get like some sort of high level loots. And then if you find that you're having a hard time, then you can turn down the difficulty a notch, and then maybe in that specific difficulty find some very awesome armor set. And then if you think it's getting easier, then you can turn the difficulty notch up again. So it's really very nice. It's so addicting. So even if it's very easy, it's very addicting, sort of collecting these loops and so on. And eventually, if you really get into the high tier gameplay, which I don't. I'm just a casual Diablo 3 player. But I know some people, I know some of my friends back in the Philippines who actually grind the Nephilim rifts and do this speedrun thing and so on. But yeah, I'm just after the armor set specific to a given character for a given season. But right now in season 17, for the first time, I actually did the story mode, because I want to experience the story of Diablo 3 for the first time. Because if you play Diablo, you have an option to do story mode or campaign or adventure mode. Okay, so you have campaign and adventure, and basically the difference is if you do it in adventure, everything is locked at the beginning of the game, so you can go anywhere you want, kill any demon you want. Like, I want to kill Diablo, I want to kill Malthael, I want to kill Azmodan, I want to kill Baal, I want to kill Belial, and so on. So you can do that. But if you do story mode, then you see the progression of the story. You know how these prime evils are connected, how the war between heaven and hell, the angels and demons come about, and it's a pretty cool story. And yeah, and then all this, like the different tiers of the demons and their internal conflicts and squabbles with themselves. It's really very nice. But after I've done that with the barbarians, I'm almost done. There are like 5 acts. So the first 4 acts is actually the story of Diablo himself, which was available when Diablo first came out in, I believe, 2012 or 2013. So this game is already very old, but I played this just now because I don't usually play on the PC. I play on handhelds, and it's since it's on the Switch, so that's why I'm addicting this right now. And yeah, so after like a few years after it was released, an expansion was added, which is the Reaper of Souls, which is of course included in this internal collection. And that expansion basically added a few classes, and then another story, which is Act 5. So I'm already there right now, Act 5. And then after I do that, then I'm gonna open after I'm done with the story, I'm gonna open adventure mode again, and then buff up my barbarian. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then yeah, it's just very casual play. And maybe I think I'll be done with this game if I've already tried, maxing out all the available classes. But so far, they're very really very unique and very different play style. So like Necromancer is all about summoning the dead and killing a lot of enemies, and then using their corpses to summon some magic and stuff. And then with the barbarian, it's all about the his physical prowess, and yeah, and going around the a swarm of enemies, stunning them, and so on. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited to finish this one after Act 5, and then go to the adventure mode, and then finally unlock the armor set for the barbarian for this season. I believe his armor set for this season is focused on using his earthquake skills, but hopefully I can make it. I'm not yet too late. Hopefully the season won't end yet. But anyway, yeah, let's go to my postdoc. So last week we already submitted our paper to Physics Letters B. So actually the editor asked us for a list of review possible reviewers, of course, that are not collaborated to any of the three of us, the authors, me, Jong, and Deepak. And then so I asked Deepak and Jong some names because they're the ones who know their field, so they're the ones who know which names to be given, and then we gave it to PLB. So right now it's under review. Hopefully, again, like I said last time, hopefully the referee won't give us a hard time, and I don't know if it gets rejected or what, depending on the comments of the referee. So either we defend the paper, or I don't know, like we downgrade to a journal with a lesser impact factor. So that's typically what, like my very first paper, I remember with Dr. Galapon during my MS, we actually first submitted my paper to PRL. So it's like, whoa, PRL has a very high impact factor. And usually they don't say, oh, your paper's not worthy. They don't say that. Usually they say, your paper is very specific, very, very, very specialized. So this is not the journal for you. So I think you should go to specialized journals, so something like that. But yeah, it doesn't matter as long as it gets published, and then I'll have my very first high energy physics paper. And then also right now I'm in correspondence with this guy named Roberto for our MUED project. Again, minimal universal extra dimensions. So it's a very cool BSM model. It's kind of like a supersymmetry where every particle will have it's called a Kaluza-Klein partner this time. So this time each particle will have a KK partner with the same spin, but it basically has an infinite partner for a very specific particle. And then the lowest of these modes should be, according to the theory, should be detectable in the LHC. So it doesn't solve as much problem as Susi does, but the appealing thing about the theory is, one, it gives a dark matter candidate, and also it's very easy to constrain phenomenologically, because it's only dependent on two parameters. So what we call the inverse R and the lambda R, lambda being the cutoff, and then R is sort of the scale of the extra dimension that you want to study. So it's very restrictive, since it's only dependent on two parameters. Before, it depends on three parameters before we found the Higgs mass. But since we already know that, then so now you can play with two parameters. And then right now there are existing constraints on what these two parameters should be, the lambda R and the R inverse. So right now we're playing with that, and yeah, the specific thing that we would like to study is this subtlety with Parton shower, and then different methods of matching. So there were constraints before, but they did not consider this sort of subtlety. So that's what we're trying to do now. So basically, Jong had a paper previously on no, not Jong. One of his former collaborators, I believe the name was Jamie, who did the exact same subtlety, but for Susi, involving this thing called the compressed model. So, though that specific subtlety, we asked, what if we also consider that on the MUED models, what would be the effect? Would the what would happen to the restrictions? So that's what we're currently doing right now. But yeah, right now I'm like hashing out some problems with the code and stuff, because the code was originally from Roberto in Spain, like I said, from the University of Valencia. And so right now I'm getting a feel with the code, and then sort of trying out some a few things, and so hopefully this gets done. So I haven't yet heard for our other project. I haven't yet heard from Subhadip, from the guy from Finland, also my one of our collaborators on our Dihiggs project. So hopefully he gets back to us. But yeah, anyway, that's been Postdoc Chronicles. week number 51. Okay, so on the 54th Postdoc Chronicles, then technically we'll already reach our 1 year here, because like I said before, technically I've already been here for 1 year because I went here last May 2018, but I went home to the Philippines for a Christmas vacation for like effectively around a month. So technically I'm still here for around like 11 months or so. But anyway, this has been Postal Chronicles week number 51. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.